Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Everybody hear me out there? You guys hear me?
Yes.
Right on. Hi. My name is Fred Brown. Today I have the honor and the pleasure of hosting our service and our Zoom meeting here at Fellowship of Spirit in Farmington, New Mexico on 2009 East 13th Street. I won't go over the litany. It looks like most of the people here are insiders, but if you want a little bit about us, Fellowship of Spirit is a New Thought Center plus a spiritual center plus a Unitarian center. We believe in and respect all faiths. We believe in respect in all spiritual paths. We are very, very privileged to hold this space here in Farmington, New Mexico, and in the Four Corners for ourselves and for anybody else that joins us. And so today, I guess I usually call, if I was speaking, I would call it infotainment. What's that? Okay, perfect. But today it'll be more like a host-attainment, because I'm also doing the music. So, and I guess I get to sing a song first. And this song, I think every song I picked today is secular in nature. I should, in the future when I do this, and I've done it before, but I didn't do it this time, is print out all the words for it so you guys can kind of go with it. But this is the Indigo Girls. And it's a song called Closer to Find, which is details a spiritual journey, and details that talks about how looking inward and looking to yourself to find that peace you're looking for is this pretty much the best thing to do. And it's what you'll find at the end of the road of any spiritual journey, is that the truth and your happiness is actually in here and not out here. So I guess you could say that's what this is about. I thought the first one was going to be Take Me As I Am, so I had the wrong one in here. Sorry. We'll start this over. Why aren't the chords right? I'm going to try to tell you something about my life. Maybe give you insight between black and white. And the best thing that you've ever done for me is to help me take my life less seriously. It's only life after all. Yeah. Well, darkness has a hunger that's insatiable, and lightness has a call that's hard to hear. So I wrap my fear around me like a blanket, sailed my ship to safety till I thank it, crawling on your shore. Well, I went to the doctor, I went to the mountains, I looked to the children, and I drank from the fountain. Well, there's more than one answer to these questions, one in me a crooked line. And the less I seek my source for some divinity, closer I am to find. Closer I am to find. Yeah. And I went to see the doctor of philosophy with a poster of Rasputin and a beard down to his knees. He never did merit or see a great beat moving. He graded my performance. He said he could see through me. I spent 4 years prostrate to his higher mind. Got my paper and I was free. 'Cause I went to the doctor, and I went to the mountains. I looked to the children, and I drank from the fountain. And there's more than one answer to these questions, pointing me in a crooked line. And the less I seek my source for some definitive, closer I am to find. Closer I am to find. Well, I stopped at a bar at 3 a.m. to seek solace in a bottle of possibly a friend. I woke up with a headache, like my head had crossed the board. It's twice as cloudy as I'd been the night before. And I went in seeking clarity, 'cause I went to the doctor, and I went to the mountains. I looked to the children, and I drank from the fountains. We go to the doctors, we go to the mountains. We get up on the Bible, and we go out through the workout. And now we know there's more than one answer to these questions, pointing you in a crooked line. And the less you seek your source for some definitive, closer you will be to find. Closer you'll be to find, yeah. Closer you'll be to find. Right on. So after that, we have an opening prayer. And I don't know who's going to be doing the opening prayer. It doesn't say.
Susan's on there. She'd love to do it for you.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so let us take a deep breath. Close our eyes. And just feel that creative energy flowing through us, energizing us. We give thanks, Creator, for all that you have given to us, all the opportunities, all the wonderful gifts, for the sun, for the rain, for all of nature. We give thanks for one another and for the opportunity for us to gather together as one in our love, our compassion, one in our ability to reach out to others. We give thanks for all of our good health and for just being who we are and what we are. And to be able to live that way, accept that, and to know that everything is a matter of perception. And we can see whatever situation it is, whether it appears positive or in a negative way, we can see the good in it and know that everything truly is in divine order and that all things will work to our benefit, to surrounding us with abundance, with love, with all that's good. And so today we give thanks for once more having this opportunity to be with one another and to see each other for who they really are. Each one of us as the Christ of God. And so we give thanks for this. Namaste.
Namaste. Okay, what is this? How do I get this one back to? Pin this one. View. Speaker. Yeah. It's so weird.
Click on her and say remove pin.
I did it, didn't I? Ta-da! Directions from the director. That worked. All right, let's see. What's the next song? That's the one I had in front of me last time. This is Take Me As I Am, I think. It's a great song. I was kind of surprised to hear something like this on the radio. Wasn't on the radio long, but it was on the radio. some reason it's still in tune. This is by the Tedeschi Trucks Band. Put my hat on. Can't play music without my hat on. Just kidding. So, oop. Take me as I am. I am just like you. We're made from the same hand, born of the same land. Take me as I am, 'cause I haven't said a word. My dreams I have are real, no matter how absurd. Life is just a wish, home of us hold near, tethered by a thread, held back from our fears. No matter where you are, all that you can do is live in love, 'cause that's enough. Take me as I am. Haven't said a word, 'cause I feel you in my heart, no matter how far apart. But take me as I am, 'cause I'm just like you. I have my own dreams, and I'm a part of you. Oh, why can't we share this world? There is only room for those who dare to love. I can meet you with a smile, and it's all that you can do. I'll be your friend and care for you till the end. Take me as I am, for I am just like you. You're a part of me, and I'm a part of you. Oh. There's that one. So after this is our reflective moment. So I should go like that, like this. And this we've all say together. And it's in the bulletin, and then follow me. It says, love produces a flow of energy that I now feel. I love others more than ever, and I feel privileged to be here. Love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness, and so it is. And so then next we have a spiritual reading. Doesn't say who, and aha, it's Kate.
Good morning, everyone. And I'm reading today from one of my favorite books is The Power of Now from Eckhart Tolle, by Eckhart Tolle. Uh-oh, what did I do with that? Okay. And it's called, the chapter 1 in the book, it's called You Are Not Your Mind, the Greatest Obstacle to Enlightenment. Enlightenment, what is that? A beggar had been sitting by the side of a road for over 30 years. One day, a stranger walked by. Spare some change, mumbled the beggar, mechanically holding out his old baseball cap. I have nothing to give you, said the stranger. Then he asked, what's that you're sitting on? Nothing, replied the beggar, just an old box. I have been sitting on it for as long as I can remember. Ever looked inside? Asked the stranger. No, said the beggar. What's the point? There's nothing in there. Have a look inside, insisted the stranger. The beggar managed to pry open the lid. With astonishment, disbelief, and elation, he saw that the box was filled with gold. I am that stranger who has nothing to give you and who is telling you to look inside. Not inside any box, as in the parable, but somewhere even closer, inside yourself. But I am not a beggar, I can hear you say. Those who have not found their true wealth, which is the radiant joy of being and the deep, unshakable peace that comes with it, are beggars, even if they have great material wealth. They are looking outside for scraps of pleasure or fulfillment, for validation, security, or love, while they have a treasure within that not only includes all those things, but is infinitely greater than anything the world can offer. The word enlightenment conjures up the idea of some superhuman accomplishment, and the ego likes to keep it that way. But it is simply your natural state of felt oneness with being. It is a state of connectedness with something immeasurable and indestructible, something that almost paradoxically is essentially you and yet is much greater than you. It is finding your true nature beyond name and form. The inability to feel this connectedness gives rise to the illusion of separation from yourself and from the world around you. You then perceive yourself, consciously or unconsciously, as an isolated fragment. Fear arises, and conflict within and without becomes the norm. I love the Buddha's simple definition of enlightenment as the end of suffering. There is nothing superhuman in that, is there? Of course, as a definition, it is incomplete. It only tells you what enlightenment is not, no suffering. But what's left when there is no more suffering? The Buddha is silent on that, and his silence implies that you'll have to find out for yourself. He uses a negative definition so that the mind cannot make it into something to believe in or into a superhuman accomplishment, a goal that is impossible for you to attain. Despite this precaution, the majority of Buddhists still believe that enlightenment is for the Buddha, not for them, at least not in this lifetime. You used the word being. Can you explain what you mean by that? Being is the eternal, ever-present one life beyond the myriad forms of life that are subject to birth and death. However, being is not only beyond, but also deep within every form as its innermost invisible and indestructible essence. This means that it is accessible to you now as your own deepest self, your true nature. But don't seek to grasp it with your mind. Don't try to understand it. You can know it only when the mind is still. When you are present, when your attention is fully and intensely in the now, being can be felt, but it can never be understood mentally. To regain awareness of being and to abide in that state of feeling realization is enlightenment. Enjoy your day.
Thank you. Cables kept pushing this thing sideways. Then I put my hand on it. Be a gaffer. That's what those guys that they hold the microphones up in the movies. You don't see them, but they're just standing there.
Very important.
Yeah, so when you see them credits go and you see gaffers, that's what they do. So, I don't know why it's called a gaffer, but that's what it's called. It's like, why is it port and starboard, right? what's this next song? I think we got is Into the Mystic. Oh. This is a great song. Another great song. I don't know. Hopefully I do it. I guess it's about the love of land, the love of your life, the love of the sea, the love of the fog, love of life. That was something that when I was in the Navy, I'd spent so much time. I'd spent about 9 months out of a year, out of 4 years, a little over 4.5 years actually, on that ship. And man, it was so great when you'd be pulling into port. But it took so long because you're going through the shipping channels. So you have to go pretty slow, you know. So it's like you're sitting there and you see the land getting closer. And then Long Beach, California, even before all this, there was a smog bank that would set in the San Pedro Bay. And it's part humidity, part smog, you know, air pollution. But you'd learned, and you'd have to learn this as a navigator, is that you had to recalibrate your radar every time you came into port, because what would happen is when you started getting close to port, the smog would put such a return on the screen that you couldn't see anything but smog. So we'd have to change the frequency. It was one of the duties every time we came back to port, was to change the frequency of the surface search radar to burn through the fog and the smog. But despite that, it was sure good to be home. So. We were born before the wind, all so younger than the sun. Yeah, the bunny boat was one as we sailed into the mystic. Hot down here, the sailors cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic. And yeah, when that foghorn blows, I'll be coming home. Yeah. When that foghorn whistle blows, I wanna hear it, wanna feel it. Your gypsy soul, just like way back in them days of old. Then magnificently we will float into the mystic. Come on with me. When that foghorn blows, I know I'll be coming home. Yeah. When that foghorn whistle blows, I gotta hear it. Lord, I don't have to fear it. I just wanna rock your gypsy soul. Just way back, just like way back in the days of old. Together we will float into the mystic. Come on, girl. Ba-da-da-ba-da. Ba-ba-ba-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. that foghorn whistle blows, you know I'll be coming home. Yeah. When that foghorn whistle blows, I can hear it, I won't fear it, no. Yeah, into the mystic, into the mystic. Little Van Morrison on Sunday. Never heard anybody. He'd probably prefer being in a Catholic church. But I don't know, you know. So right now we have our guest speaker coming to you, Margaret Cheasebro. I think what she's going to be talking about is learning to row downstream. So will we give a big hand to Margaret? Yay! Let's see.
I give her the microphone.
Yeah.
The one you're wearing.
I know. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Okay, sorry. We're all trying to tell you what to do.
It's okay. I can listen. Microphone down. Microphone for you.
Okay. See if I can do this.
As high as up as you can.
Would you do it for me?
I sure can. There you go.
Thank you.
It should be red.
Yeah. Okay, that means it's on, right?
Okay, it's on.
Everybody hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right. Well, if you've been in a rowboat on the river, you learn really fast that you want to row downstream, the way the water is naturally flowing. It's kind of like a tailwind when you're in an airplane. The tailwind is blowing the same direction the plane is flying. So the airplane travels faster and with less resistance. If you're in a rowboat on the river, it's a lot harder to row upstream. Then you're rowing against the flow of the water. It's a lot harder to make any headway. Whatever debris is floating in the river, tree limbs, boards, buckets, fence posts, sometimes even chairs, it's coming right at you. Not only do you have to row harder, but you have to dodge whatever is flowing downstream toward you. Rowing downstream makes a lot more sense. It's easier. The water is working with you. It's like that with life, too. When you feel stuck or dissatisfied, it's a signal that you're making life harder than it needs to be. Often it means that you're trying to control something or someone. A lot of times you're trying to control things that you cannot control. If you try to control the decisions that world leaders make, or try to stop a war that is in progress, you are rowing upstream big time. So quit trying to do the impossible. There's a new book coming out soon called The Let Them Theory. It's written by Mel Robbins, who has a popular podcast on that topic. Oprah Winfrey was very excited about Mel's book. She said, the Let Them Theory explained what she has been trying to get across to people for the last 25 years. 3 of the things the book stresses are: 1, you control what you think. 2, You control what you do or don't do. 3, you control what you do in response to the feelings that rise up in you. You control what you think. Imagine yourself in a rowboat on the river. You're rowing upstream, working hard to make any headway, and debris is barreling at you. You control what you think about this situation. You can get mad, yell at the river, get upset with yourself for not being strong enough to overpower the current. Or you can decide to stay calm and think about how to handle the situation differently. You control what you do or don't do. You can recognize that you're not making much headway trying to row upstream against the current. So you can decide to either continue doing what's next to impossible, or you can turn the rowboat around and row downstream, taking advantage of the water that's flowing the same direction you are. You can notice somebody doing something that goes against your sense of morality, or that hasn't been well thought out and will probably end badly. You can think judgmentally about how inappropriate or unwise they're acting, or you can recognize that those things are either out of your control or unwise for you to get involved in. Let go of judging. Instead, focus on your purpose for being here. You control what you do in response to the feelings that rise up in you. You can let yourself get upset, angry, frustrated about whatever it is that's bothering you. You can work yourself up into a giant headache or a sense of injustice that gives you no energy to focus on anything else. Or you can decide to be grateful for the ability to change your focus. Row downstream instead, where everything is easier. That's where you'll find joy. When you stop putting your attention on things that upset you or are beyond your control, and instead think about what brings you joy and fulfillment, everything works better. When you control what you do in response to the feelings that rise up in you, then you can focus on positive things. Philippians 4:8 in the Bible gives us a clue about how this works. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Think about yourself in that rowboat as you float downstream, where everything is a little easier. Allowing ourselves to be in that easier, more enjoyable place in our lives is something that is called the law of allowing, or the art of allowing, because it really is an art to let ourselves navigate the stream of well-being in positive ways. We can think about rowing downstream as the stream of well-being, because it helps us to feel better and to focus on what our purpose really is. We nourish our well-being by rowing downstream. Esther and Jerry Hicks wrote a book in 2006 called The Amazing Power of Deliberate Intent. It's called Living there's a little colon, and then after it is Living the Art of Allowing. In it, they shared the words of Abraham, a group of wise teachers on the other side. Those wise teachers speak through Esther to teach us how to live our lives in a wise, sensible, and easier way so that we can benefit and better fulfill our purpose for being here. They tell us that it's important to have a deliberate intent for what we want the end result to be. We need to balance our energy so that we're not exhausting ourselves by rowing upstream, by doing things that keep us from fulfilling our intent. In order to do that well, we need to understand our physical personality in this body, as well as our eternal non-physical consciousness. Our physical personality is who we are in the body that we currently occupy. Our eternal non-physical consciousness is who we really are. Then we can begin to better understand why we were born into our current physical life experience. We did not begin with this physical birth. We are a continuation of who we really are, which is our eternal non-physical consciousness, the essence of our true self. If we don't consciously realize who we really are, it's hard for us to find success in the physical body we occupy now. When we don't understand our purpose for living this life, it's hard to formulate a deliberate intent for what we want the end result to be. We tend to row upstream, and that just makes life harder for us. That makes it harder to fulfill the purpose for which we chose to come into this current physical body. That purpose aligns with the essence of our true self. How do we know when we're getting off track? The wise teachers called Abraham told Esther Hicks that we've all been given an incredible gift called the emotional guidance system. That system lets us know when we are aligned and misaligned with our current physical life and with the eternal non-physical consciousness that is who we really are. The emotional guidance system works this way. If you start to do, think, or say something that is taking you away from your eternal purpose, you will start to feel that something isn't quite right. You may not know exactly what isn't right, but you will have an uneasy feeling. It lets you know that you need to pay attention to what you are thinking, doing, or saying, because you are starting to go out of balance. That balance between your current physical life experience and your eternal non-physical consciousness is getting off kilter. You're starting to turn your rowboat upstream, making everything harder to accomplish. You're losing track of your intent, your purpose. Here's an example of how it works. I was playing ping pong recently with a group of people at the Farmington Recreation Center. Before we started playing, one of those players, who is really hard to get along with, said something to me that ruffled my feathers. I held my tongue and didn't respond. But after he left, and the rest of us were taking a break, one of the other players said something a little negative about that irritating person. He tends to ruffle all of our feathers. I immediately wanted to jump in and tell them the exasperating thing he had said to me that ticked me off. But when I had said only a word or two, it just seemed like there was a caution, it's just the sense of caution coming up, just a tiny twinge that what I was about to say was not in alignment with my purpose for being here. So I didn't go down that road. If I had given in to my initial intent to talk about what that person had done to irritate me, I would have started rowing upstream, going against my purpose for being here. Listen to that tiny twinge of a feeling. Excuse me, just a moment. It tells you that you're starting to get out of balance. Change what you're thinking, doing, or saying so that you start to feel aligned and in balance again. The emotional guidance system is a powerful tool. It helps to keep our current life experience balanced with the purpose of our eternal non-physical consciousness. If you don't correct your thinking and as a result get out of balance, you are creating an unpleasant experience for yourself. You're starting to row upstream, losing track of what will keep you balanced, healthy, and true to your purpose, both in this life and in your eternal non-physical consciousness. That eternal non-physical consciousness is who we really are. Your experience in your body in this life is what you're living in this moment. If you keep it in balance with your eternal purpose, your life will be more focused and less stressed. Rowing downstream is usually a lot easier than rowing upstream. Here's another example about how the emotional guidance system works. In the January 12th, excuse me again, get ready, Shay.
You're almost there.
Shay has agreed to fill in for me if I start to cough too much. I'm getting over something and it's better, but not totally well. So in the January 12th, 2025 issue of Durango Herald, there was an article about a hairstylist named Kendra, who recently opened her own salon. She calls it Sanct Salon because she wants it to be a sanctuary from toxic products, toxic environments, and toxic people. That's especially important to Kendra because she has an autoimmune disorder that makes her very sensitive to some hair and beauty products. Her deliberate intent was to provide a place where other people who are also sensitive could get their hair styled, permed, or colored without developing a rash, putting up with itchiness, suffering respiratory problems, or having other reactions. She also wanted hairstylists to work safely at her salon without having negative reactions to hairstyling products. The products she uses are vegan, ethically produced, and ammonia-free. Her deliberate intent to open a brick and mortar salon was a stretch, but she learned the business hoops she had to jump through. Once she grasped them, she opened her business quickly. That suited her personality because she tends to act intuitively. If she tries something and is faced with barrier after barrier, she changes pathways. In another way of saying it, if everything seems hard and feels like she's rowing upstream, she turns her boat around and rows downstream where everything is easier. As she was setting up Sanct Salon, everything flowed with ease. She encountered green light after green light. She was rowing downstream. She followed the positive signals from her emotional guidance system, even though she might not have put it in those words. When she's working in her salon, she tries to understand her clients' dispositions and gauge their moods. She is a good listener. As she pays attention to her clients, sometimes they tell her the challenges they are facing. She is not only fulfilling her purpose in this life to provide a safe place for people to get their hair styled, but she is fulfilling the purpose of her eternal non-physical consciousness by helping her clients find healing and wholeness. She does that by showing them compassion and listening to them in a caring way. If anyone wants to check out her holistic salon, it is located in Durango at 2855 Main Avenue, Suite A109. Does anybody want me to repeat that? Okay. When we listen to our emotional guidance system, we have an easier time taking the steps that will help us fulfill our purpose. It's such a powerful tool. All we have to do is tune into it and listen. It helps us to stay balanced and focused on our purpose. Every once in a while, we may encounter a waterfall or a whirlpool as we row downstream. But even in those circumstances, we can control what we think, control what we do or don't do, and control what we do in response to the feelings that rise up in us. We are each the creator of our own experience. And even in challenging moments, we can focus on those things that help us to stay balanced. The Bible gives us an idea of how to do that in 1 Thessalonians 5:16 through 18. Be joyful always. Pray continually. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. I can say with certainty that I have not been able to stay joyful in all circumstances. Some things can send me out of balance pretty quickly, though maybe not as often as they used to. I might get my feelings hurt, get upset with someone for driving carelessly, or become frustrated about something else. I have to take time to calm down and pay attention to my emotional guidance system before I can start to think sensibly and act wisely. I know it's worthwhile to stay balanced so that the life I'm living in this moment is balanced with my eternal non-physical consciousness. I know I am happiest when those two aspects of myself are balanced and focused on the same purpose. I am thankful for the reminders in the Bible and in other helpful books about how to stay on track and how to get back on track when we completely blow it. It's all about rowing downstream, focusing on what brings us enjoyment, doing the things that keep us balanced, happy, joyful, and aligned with our purpose for being here in this life. Thank you. I'm thankful I made it through that talk without coughing too much.
Yeah, you can disconnect now. Bingo, got it.
Okay.
Hello.
It's me again.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can make this a little bit more smoother as we go by. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
putting another ambient microphone on whatever desk we have here so we don't have to be using this so much. And whoever's the speaker is can just load this up and run with it for the,
Sounds good.
kind of like we did it in the old days. But it's progress is little by little, I would say. For you who are not here, we've decided to I decided and push forward on all the, I think what they were called were 1-year goals, but you look, we're no longer down on the floor, we're up here on the stage again, so I thought that was just a point of, what was the saying? Thriving instead of surviving, isn't that what you used to say? That's it, thriving instead of surviving. I heard that from my therapist too. A couple therapists actually, so it's a good thing. That's right, it's always keep in mind, thrive, don't just be surviving. So,
Did you want to talk? Did you have questions?
does anybody have any questions or want to talk about what her presentation was? You come this way.
This is different. I like it. Margaret, you did very well. I mean, you always come so well prepared, and you're one of my heroes as far as public speaking goes, and even overcame your disability there. And the message is real clear, and I'm going to remember that instead of rowing upstream so much. So, thank you, Margaret.
Thanks.
Anybody else got any more feedback? No? All right, well, thank you, Margaret.
Okay, yeah.
As usual, instructive and beautiful at the same time.
Thanks.
I really like the stuff about the trees. More trees. So let's see, what do we got here? Gotta get this hard. Smacks against the guitar. I don't know actually what this sounds like on the recording, so we'll find out. I think it'd be better just to use PA mics than these, but this song is kind of come from New Thought. If I can get my old Git fiddle here in tune. I think it's actually in the binder too. I mean, as with a lot of these Karen Drucker songs, they tend to be very repetitive, and that's
Simple
a good thing because most prayers are repetitive, the powerful ones, right? I think if any of us come from the Catholic tradition, you would know that oft repeated prayers have the most power. And you know, also the Tibetan monks and some Theravadas, not Mayanaris, but Theravadas use chant-like prayers often too, especially when in sacrifice times. So, and as I spoke the last time, and it just keeps getting reinforced the deeper I dig, is all religious and spiritual teachings before we had writing were taught through song. So that's pretty interesting. Even the Jewish rabbis will tell you that even the books of Moses were carried along for 1,000 years in song before they were written down. Thank you. I wanna say thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. 'Cause I'm so grateful, oh grateful. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. I want to say thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. Yeah, I'm so grateful. Grateful. I'm so thankful. I want to say thank you. Oh, thank you. I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful day. This beautiful day. Oh, I want to say thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm gonna thank you. I'm so thank you. I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. This wonderful, this wonderful, this wonderful day. I want to say thank you. And on a high note, right?
Love that.
Guess right now we'll have our celebration of abundance. If somebody want to grab the plates and pass it around. First we say our prayer in the bulletin that says, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous. You want to catch that, guy? There you go. Usually we have a Sunday school service. Not usually, sometimes. Most times. Today we do not. And we would have the children come up here and say something.
Probably the safest thing here is when they're here, they're here, when they're not, they're not.
Yeah, when they're here, they're here. When they're not, they're not. And today they're not. So what we have is Bill is going to come up and do our closing thought for the day and the week and the...
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful January. Today's topic is we need family. Call it a clan, call it a network, call it a tribe, call it a family. Whatever you call it, wherever you are, you need one. Jane Howard. We are social creatures, wired to live in relationships. Our identity can't come from just words alone. From just work alone, We need social time and space, just as we need food and water. Even the most introverted of us need at least a few close friends with whom we can reflect, question, encourage, and support. In these safe relationships that we develop and define ourselves. The walk away is I will take care of my family and my family-like relationships. We need each other. These relationships are the most important in all our life. And I tell you, with the family, if you're rowing downstream, it sure makes it a lot easier than trying to fight going upstream. God bless and have a great week.
Amen to that, brother. Thank you. No, I guess that's it for our service, except for the closing ceremony song. Am I missing anything? Is there any announcements? No? No announcements?
Dawn is speaking next week. So that'll be the first time people.
Dawn Cummins is speaking next week?
Yes.
Yay! So, is that the only announcement?
That's it.
All right, then we'll do our closing song. See if I can get this thing to swivel bibble. Swivel bibble, baby.
You didn't like our wooden chairs?
I just,
You like the folding chairs better?
they have more padding, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
that's true. For those of you with skinny butts.
Right? I don't have a butt, I found out.
I think you're better off folding them. Where's the wheelchairs? Okay,
Right in there.
you guys can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get rid of them, we just,
No, I just moved them around.
yeah.
1, 2, 3.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together in unity, and yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as our power, family all are we. So let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is our moment now. And with every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
All right.
So let us all go in peace and harmony, and remember what we heard today. Let it sink in to go with the right flow.
Right flow, that's right.
Let's take the word sink out of there. Let's just
Yeah, right. Hey,
Go with the flow of the river.
Namaste, everybody.
float on.
Yeah, I don't want to say this.
Just like the inner tube, right? Just get on it and go.
I did, how are you? No, I have no idea, I think we need professional.
No, I
I don't like the table right here. So I think we need to discuss maybe moving the table, because it was really nice.
Yeah, we go
down
get
here.
my husband on
The
Sunday, so I
speakers
just
and
come here
everything.
first.
And if we move the piano,
Well, we're gonna have to move the piano
Then we'll
because the
have-
new TV is bigger, way bigger.
then we'll have room. There'll be
You know
room
the
to move the piano.
Well,